Hello all, this is Naveen Today we are going to see two small traps in philidor and Queen's Gambit decline variation. First we are going to see in a philidor opening. That is, this trap is also known as a legal trap. Let's go into the opening. That is e4 is e5 and nf3. He replaced back with d6. This is known as a philidor defense. That is, we can just start pushing d4. But in this game, that is, we are not going to push the d4 now. We are going to play c4 and goes for development here. And king side he develops his queen side with his knight to c6, and he goes knight to c3. And here he goes for a bishop to g4 here, and actually pinning this knight here so that the knight can't move. If the knight moves, the queen will be dropped here. And here he pushes the pawn to h3 and attacking the bishop. There are two possibilities. The bishop can capture the knight here or just move back in this variation. Here he just goes back, and now we can just capture this pawn here, and we are just giving up the queen here. That is, the bishop can take the queen on d1. But there is a blunder in the situation because after this capture, it is actually a mate in 2 for white here. I hope you all spot the move. That is, bishop captures f7, gives a check here, and after the king comes up, we can just deliver this checkmate with the nd5 checkmate. As you see, the kings can't go to e8 or here. This is all covered by our knights. So the king is trapped in this situation. It is a checkmate. But also you have to know that before you are playing this, you also want to consider this. After this, after we capture, there are also possibilities of capturing the knight here. It seems like we are just given up a piece for nothing here. That's not true because we can just capture the bishop and continue the game. Maybe he can just develop the knight and just attack our queen. Means we can just support our bishop. After captures, we can just capture back. But the question is, why we need to play the move knight to f6? We can just capture the bishop here, and we will be a piece up for this in this game. That's also in the position, right? Here, that is not true because after the knight captures here, we can just deliver this check and the king have to move or something we have to block here. We can just pick up the knight here. And as you see that we have a equal position in the game. And also note that our knight and queen are developed in the situation, which is we are up in the development in this position. And you also need to consider that you can't try this trap before playing the move h6 here because the move h6 actually, if we start at taking the pawn on e5 now, here if we capture the queen, then it will be the same story. That is a checkmate into. There is no problem in that. But the interesting thing is, you don't have to capture in the situation. He can just capture the knight, and you see the bishop is officially guarded. We can't just hit the bishop here, and we have to move our bishop back. So the only choice was to put our bishop on e2, but that will lead to a material down for us. So you should not try playing the trap before playing the move h3 here. After the h3 move, you have to play this trap. That is the correct way to play this trap. This trap is known as legal trap. Let's go into the another trap in the Queen's Gambit decline variation. Here, Queen's Gambit decline variation starts the move d4, d5 and c4 and d6. This is the Queen's Gambit decline variation. Now he goes for a knight to c3, and he develops his knight and also safeguarding his pawn on d5 here. And we are just pinning the pawn so that we can just capture the pawn, and after that capture we will be only threading that. So that's also in the position. Now he just guards the knight here. This is a small trap here, small variation in the Queen's Gambit decline. If the white player is not aware, we can also try this on them. Here he just captured the pawn, thinking that he's just getting the pawn because after the pawn captures, after this pawn capture, we can just capture with the knight. There's no problem because the knight can't move here because it is actually pinned with the queen here. So he thought of getting a pawn in the situation. So he captured the d5 pawn, and after he captures with the knight here. But here it is actually a blunder in the situation. Here we can just capture the knight in the situation, and we are actually a piece up in the situation. As you see, you have 4 pieces and white has only 3 pieces here. But you may ask that the bishop can capture the queen easily. But that's not true, because after the bishop captured the queen, you can just deliver this check here. And as you see, the king can't move anywhere because there is only one path of coming out, that is a d2 square, which is covered by our bishop and also giving the check. So some pieces have to block. There is only one piece to block, that is the queen have to block in the situation. We can just capture the queen, and after the king captures, we can just capture the bishop here. And as you see, black is having 3 pieces, and here white is having only 2 minor pieces. We are actually a piece up in the situation for just a pawn in the situation, which is actually a good trap we can try out if the white player is not aware of it. I hope you guys that found this trap interesting. Please hit the like button, keep supporting this channel, and thank you for your support. This is Naveen Prabhu signing off.